Yes, thank you. It's always for all the beings. Yeah, it's that's the difference between knowledge and wisdom. Yeah, knowledge with compassion is wisdom. Yeah, that's important. Yeah, to make the distinction. So, and there is a message in the chat. Um, someone is asking if it is in French. No, in French we have every Thursday evening at 8 o'clock. And every Friday evening at 8 o'clock as well. Yeah? So for the newcomers on the Thursday evening in French. Donc c'est en français le jeudi soir à 20 h et le vendredi soir à 20 h aussi pour ceux qui sont un peu plus, qui ont un peu plus de étudier, mais pour les nouveaux, c'est le jeudi soir. Okay, so let's start if you wish. So if you remember well, we had last time a file about what means to exist and so on, yeah? So then I will share some files later just to remember. Okay, it follows that you know the definition of existent. Accept. Posit the definition of existent. Yopa in Tibetan, yeah? Or Sat in Sanskrit. So what is the definition? How do you know that things exist? That, for instance, a flower exists. How do we know that? Nobody dares to speak.
Het is observed by the cognitive observation. So it's noticed by cognitive observation.
Yes, very good.
It's
Yes.
observed by valid cognition, sorry.
Yes, it is observed by valid cognition. So it follows that if it is observed by valid cognition, it necessarily exists. Yes, Shivaniji says we see and smell and touch the flower exactly. Yes, so exactly we see it, we smell it, we touch it, and so on. So it means it exists. Okay, fantastic. Yes, Maria?
It exists, but it's not a selflessness. So it is just for the discussion. It's not by its own side existent, but by dependent arising.
Yes, we could say that for the Sotrantika, and we could say for the non-Prasangika schools, if it exists, it has to exist from its own side, and it has to exist truly and inherently. So, as Lama Tsongkhapa says in the Tendel Dröpa, for instance, the Tendel Dröpa, the praise to dependent relativity, he says that for the Sotrantika, to be caused or to be originated doesn't refute inherent existence.
Okay.
Only for Prasangika.
And that's for phenomena and people, not only for phenomena.
Yes, even for the person,
Okay.
for the non-Madhyamika, we could say any phenomenon, except for the Chittamatra. You know, the Chittamatra, they would say the imputed natures don't exist truly. Otherwise, the person, for the Sotrantika, the person and other phenomena exist truly.
Yeah, I don't know. For the Sotratic, I know that there is no emptiness for phenomena. Okay.
Yes,
But there's
exactly. That's true.
emptiness for people, so that's why I asked it.
Yes,
Sorry
exactly.
for the questions. Okay.
No,
Good.
that's very good, very useful, because it was exactly what I wanted to show. So yeah, I will try to share a file. Yeah, please, Chaviji, I will try to share. So it's directly linked with the file that we will see. It's something that we already saw in the past. Oh, thank you so much, Chaviji. Very good. So here we have that that slide. Yeah, you remember we said that selfless is the broadest category in one sense. Yeah. So everything that exists has to be selfless, has to be empty of any self, of the person for the Sotrantika. Yeah. And they also say whether it exists or not, it has to be selfless. Even horn of the rabbit is selfless because it doesn't exist. So it is not a self and it doesn't have a self. Yeah. Very good. And we have existent and impermanent. Existent, we saw the definition, yeah, observed by valid cognition. So we could say it follows that the subject permanent is observed by valid cognition. Accept. Yes, it is observed by valid cognition. Everybody agrees? Okay, fantastic. And the subject impermanent is observed by valid cognition. Yes, everybody agrees. Fantastic. So if we compare impermanent and existent, are they contradictory, equivalent, 3P, 4P? Is it clear for everyone when we say contradictory, equivalent, 3 possibilities or 4 possibilities? If you have any issue with that, please dare to ask. Otherwise, all the debates that we will have will be a bit obscured for you. Yeah, so if you have any doubt, please ask, yeah. Is it okay for everyone? Okay, yeah.
Christopher, I think I just need a just quick refresh of that.
Yes, very
I
good.
haven't been in touch with that for quite some time now.
Yes, fantastic. Thank you for asking. It's very useful for everyone. Yeah, so can we say, for instance, that someone has the definition of contradictory?
Yes.
Very good. Please posit the definition of contradictory.
Different with no common base.
Yes, they are different with no common base. Exactly. Yeah, the dog is happy with the with strategies and so on. Yeah, they are different. So they are at least conceptually different, distinct, like table and chair, cup and book and so on. They are different and they have no common base. Yeah, nothing is both. Yeah, a common base is a phenomenon that has to be both items, but there is no phenomenon which can be both a book and a cup. Yeah, so they are different and they are contradictory. So they are different with no common base, so they are contradictory. Yeah. Okay, so we'll try to review those points today. So for instance, if I ask you tree and a branch, a tree and a branch, are they contradictory? I see yes, I see no. Who would say I agree? Branch and tree are contradictory. Yes, okay. And Maria doesn't agree.
No, I see a common base, sorry.
Okay, so what is the common base between tree and branch?
Land, they where they are, so they had take the food from there, for example. It's a common
Okay.
phenomenon.
Yes, they have common characteristics, like they are vegetal, they are impermanent, they exist, and so on. So they have common characteristics, but they don't have any common base. The common base would have to be both a tree and the branch. Yeah, the whole
But
and
it's the category of plant, for example.
yes, they belong to the same category.
Still base. But what about the okay, okay, I stop there. Maybe I still need to have a better definition of common base. For me, it's
Yes,
a phenomenon. Phenomenon is also, for example, the land where their roots, they have a common roots. So that
yes,
means they do have the same, they share the same common
cause.
base for
Okay,
food or the feeding system, right? So how
okay,
they the same channel. So for me, they do have a common base. But
yes.
again, I'm apologies.
No,
I'm
no
learning
problem.
here.
It's useful, yeah. Yeah, a common base has to exist. Yeah, we cannot say that, for instance, non-existent is a common base between Homo de Rabbit and the unicorn. So common base has to exist. It has to be a phenomenon, and it has to be both items. Yeah. So, like, do you agree that the tree is the whole and the branch is the part?
Agree.
Okay, so can you find a common base between the whole and its parts? Can you find something which is at the same time is a part of something and
Yes.
is the whole? What could it be?
It's part where they connect, for example, the branch and the tree connect at the connection of them. There's common base and belongs to both.
Okay, so it follows that the connection between the branch and the tree is at the same time a tree and a branch.
Yes, it is part. Yes, it is.
It is a part of the tree, yeah? It is not the whole tree, yeah?
Accept.
Okay, so it is a part of the tree, it is not the whole tree. So can we find something which is at the same time the whole tree and the branch of the tree?
The tree.
Okay, it follows that the tree is a branch. Very easy to carry, you know? If you take a branch, you can carry a tree, the whole tree. And it means if you cut the branch, it means you cut the whole tree.
I accept there is no common base. I stop there. I
Okay,
don't want
very
to, but
good.
I do get sorry,
So
Pallavi,
nice.
and
No, that's so
very
nice.
peaceful.
Thank you so much.
I
Thank you so much.
appreciate it so much because we are re-establishing, because I was exactly in the same place, and to the logical reason, the common base has to be the same thing at the same time. That's
Yeah.
and even that was very confusing. So it's very strong. Thank you.
Very nice. That's so nice when things are getting clear. That's so nice, really. Yeah, so that's why please dare to ask questions or to interact. Yeah, that's always useful for everybody.
So does it follow that entity wise one and isolate wise different? In that case, they are both contradictory. Whatever the isolates, because we are talking about parts and wholes.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so that's why we could say that parts and the whole, they are the same entity. So the entity wise, they are one. Yeah, for the perception, they don't appear separately. But for the conceptual mind, they appear separately. So the parts and the whole, they are necessarily different isolates. Exactly.
And contradictory also, right?
And contradictory, yes, very good.
Okay.
Yes, they are the
Is that
same.
always the case?
Yes,
Is that
always.
always the case?
Always, because only branch is its own isolate. Only tree is its own isolate. Yeah. So that's why any phenomenon is its own isolate, is conceptually isolated from everything else. Yeah.
What about
Okay.
existent and permanent? It's the same thing.
Yeah, so existent, impermanent, exactly. That's the same case. Yeah, they are one entity, but different isolates. Yeah, they are isolated conceptually. We can say that impermanent is one part of existent. Yeah, so it is not the whole set, but it is one instance of that category. Yeah. So do you agree that they are not contradictory, existent and impermanent? Okay, they are not contradictory because we have many common bases. For instance,
They're both existent.
okay, yes. So they have a common characteristic, which is existent, but we could say existent itself is not impermanent. Yeah, so it is not a common base between existent and impermanent. But can we find any common base? Could you posit any common base between existent and impermanent? Something which is at the same time existent and impermanent. Very easy.
Cup.
Cup. Yes, it follows the
Flower.
Yes, please.
Flower.
Flower, exactly. Very good. Yeah, it follows that the subject cup, it follows that the subject flower are common bases between the two, existent and impermanent. There are phenomena which are both existent and impermanent. Everybody agrees?
Yes.
Okay, very good. So if they have common bases, they are not contradictory, yeah?
Yes.
Can we say that they are both non-existent?
What is both non-existent?
So permanent, impermanent, they're both non-existent.
Yes, they are both non-existent, exactly. Yes, exactly. But not existent would not be a common base between the two. Yeah, it's a common characteristic. Yeah, okay. Very good.
Still struggling, working on it.
Yes. Yes, common base, like for instance, do you find any common base between my cup and me? I hope not. I hope not. Okay, very good. So it follows that the subject, my cup and me, we are contradictory. We are different with no common base. Yeah. Okay, very good. Fantastic. So if we say, for instance, now, water and H2O, are they contradictory? No, Arshadi. They are not. They are not because?
They're one and the same.
Yes, they are. Okay, they are this one and the same. We could discuss that. We could say that they are equivalent. They are mutually inclusive. Yeah, if it is the one, it has to be the other. Yeah, but they
Right.
have to be different, at least in name. Yeah, so they are different. They are not one. They are different. Still, they are equivalent. If it is the one, it's necessarily the other. Yeah, if it is A and B, sorry, if it is A, it's B. If it is B, it's A. Yes. Okay, so the equivalent, fantastic. Yes, please.
I'm sorry, but water has much more than H2O, so there are a lot of minerals and other things. So H2O is only one part of water, so it's not a full water,
Yes.
and can
But
vary across.
like for instance, if you have mineral H2O, is it mineral water?
No, I mean different mineral. It can be from from the
Yes.
water in India, for example, is very different from the water from in
Yes, accept,
Switzerland. Even in Switzerland, north and south, and
accept,
So
yes.
that's what I mean.
You are in Switzerland? I thought you were in Italy.
No, I'm in Zurich.
Ah, nice, beautiful city. I remember when His Holiness came in 2005 over there. Yeah, it was so nice. Okay. Okay. So, yes, we could say that the water in the Zurich Lake and the water in the Indian Ocean are different. Yeah. Still, they are H2O, no? Do
They
you agree?
are defined as H2O, but they are not
Exactly.
only H2O.
Exactly. We could say that one is not salty, one is salty. Yeah, but would you agree with the fact that the subject salty water is water?
Correct, except
Okay, so it follows that the subject salty water is salty H2O.
not necessarily, no.
Okay, so it follows that if it is salty water, it's not necessarily salty H2O.
Correct.
Okay, so it can be water without being H2O.
No.
No, very good. So it follows that if it is water, it's necessarily H2O.
Yes, but it's not only. That's what I say.
Okay,
Necessary doesn't mean only. There's a difference.
exactly. Yes, yes. So that's we could say that's the minimalist characteristic of water. Yeah, it could be, of course, it could be dirty water, pure water, blessed water, and so on and so on. But anyway, if it is water, it has to be H2O, no? Because it is made of H2O, yeah?
If it is water, it has H2O. It's not.
Yeah, your mic is.
Sorry, there's a difference in the
Yes.
verb.
Okay.
It has H2O versus it is H2O. There's a difference.
So it has H2O, but it is not H2O.
It is not pure H2O. No, I mean, sorry, it's the mathematician is the definition that
Yeah,
water is not
yes,
necessarily pure H2O.
exactly, I agree. But water is necessarily H2O, at least H2O.
At least H2O, yes.
Yes, very good. Okay. And H2O is at least water.
Doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense?
No, sorry. Take too much.
Yes.
No, water, H2O is not, it's the definition of main ingredient of water. It's not at least water.
Yes, exactly. If we say the definition in Buddhist philosophy, the definition is the whole set of main characteristics, we could say. Yeah. So when we say, for instance, hot and burning, if it is hot and burning, it's necessarily fire because it's the definition of fire. Yeah.
Okay, in that
Okay.
abstract way, accept.
Very good. So if it is H2O, it's necessarily water because it is a kind of scientific definition of water.
Okay, accept.
Okay, very good. So H2O and water are equivalent. If it is A, it's B. If it's B, it's A.
To the abstract definition of Buddhism, yes, not to physicists.
Yes, because the definition of equivalent is, do you remember? Or mutually inclusive in some texts. In many texts, they use that mutually inclusive. That's exactly the same. Yeah, equivalent. What is the definition? Do you remember?
Something that has, go ahead.
They're different and it meets the 8 doors of probation.
Wow, fantastic. Wow, wow, wow. Arya Manjushri is so happy. Wow. Very good. Okay, so they are different and they share the 8 doors of perversion. Do you remember those 8 doors of perversion? If we say A and B, for instance, A and B.
If it is A, it must necessarily be B. If it is B, it must necessarily be A. If it is not A, it must necessarily be not B. If it is not B, it must necessarily be not A. And if it has A, it must have B. And if it has B, it must have A. And what is the
And the
last?
negations.
And if it does not have A, it must necessarily not have B. And if it does not have B, it must necessarily not have A.
Wow, very good, Chariji. Now, Arya Manjushri, Vajrabeirava. Arya, Vajrabeirava is so happy. Fantastic. Yeah, we could say if there is A, there is B. Yeah, that's the ontological way to express things. Yeah, if somewhere there is A, there has to be B, yeah, and so on. Yeah, very good. So the 8 doors of perversion. So of course, the two first ones are, we could say, most necessary. Yeah, we could say that they are sufficient in one way, but we could find some debates sometimes that they would say, okay, we need the 8 doors of perversion. But if it is A, it has to be B. If it is B, it is A. It's necessarily A. And they have to be different. Because we cannot say that my cup is equivalent with my cup. Yeah, because they are not different. My cup and my cup are not different. So we cannot say that my cup is equivalent with my cup. My cup is one with my cup. Yeah, so if they are not different, they cannot be equivalent. So we need some kind of minimalist type of conceptual distinction. Yeah, if we say H2O and water, they are different. The meaning is the same, but the terms are different. Yeah, so they are different and they are equivalent. They have the 8 doors of perversion. Yeah. So we have contradiction and equivalent. Yeah? Contradictory and equivalent. So contradictory, they are different. They necessarily have to be different anyway. Yeah. Yeah. So contradictory, they have no common base, and equivalent, they have only common bases. Yeah. Okay, very good. And now 3P. So 3P, for instance, existent and permanent. 3 possibilities. What is the first possibility? It follows, you can posit an illustration of something which is both. Yes.
Not the pervasion. What is a possibility?
Yes,
You said
exactly.
posit
Common
posit
base.
something that is existent and permanent.
Yes, very good. Yes.
Okay. Selflessness.
Selflessness. Your favorite
Favorite
topic.
topic.
Yes, okay. Selflessness, we could say permanent itself, or here we have permanent possible to be. We will see that later. Yeah? Permanent impossible to be. We could say uncompounded space. We could say any mere negation. Yeah, for the Sotrantika. But more than that. Yeah, not only mere negations, but also any category which has permanent instances, even if they have impermanent instances. For instance, existent is permanent, yeah, because it has permanent instances. So it is always the appearing object to thought cognition, to thought consciousness. Okay, so we'll see that later. Yes, and compounded space
Sorry,
yes, please.
can we just say, so would it be like absent, any mere negation is both permanent and existent?
Exactly.
Okay, so absence of lightning in the sky,
Yes.
even if lightning comes, I keep forgetting this one. So so it's raining, but there's no lightning, but lightning comes and goes.
Yes.
Absence of lightning in the sky, is it permanent or impermanent?
Yes. What do you choose, Parviji? You have to choose one.
Well, just now, according to what we're studying, if a mere negation, so absence is a negation, so it has to be permanent.
Yes, very good. It is permanent because? What is the definition of permanent?
Oh, not changing from moment to moment.
Oh, it follows that the subject homoderivity is permanent.
Oh, phenomena that is not changing from moment to moment. Okay.
Okay. Yes, very good. A phenomenon, it has to exist. Yeah, a phenomenon which is not momentary. Yeah, we could say a phenomenon which is not momentary, or Yonzin Polbucha Rinpoche would say a common base between phenomenon and non-momentary. That's exactly the same meaning. Yeah, so we could say a phenomenon which is not momentary. It's easier. Yeah. Okay.
Phenomenon that is not momentary. But
Exactly.
absence of lightning in the sky is momentary because in a flash it came and went. So it wasn't there, now it came and now it's gone. So the absence is also momentary because the lightning was so quick.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good argument. Yes, very good reasoning. Okay. So how do we manage, yeah, with that? Yeah. Because yes, in this, yeah, who has an answer?
No, I just wanted to just add absence or presence in this particular case follows the same principles because it comes and goes. It's not, both of them are non-momentary, right? So they change with time. They're both the phenomena, characteristic of the phenomenon of lightning.
Okay. Yes. So yes, the lightning is impermanent. Yeah, the lightning itself. Yeah, that's something physical in the sky. Yeah, something happens. But the absence of lightning, yeah, that's very different. Yeah, the absence of lightning, is it permanent or impermanent? Even if it come and goes, who has an answer? Teta Momola?
It is a temporary permanent, as we discussed, I think, in the past.
Fantastic. Temporary permanent. Incredible. Wow. Now we can say that all the Buddhas of knowledge and wisdom and compassion are happy. It's so fantastic. Yeah, really. Okay, temporary permanent. Yeah, usually in the West or in the non-Tibetan language or non-Sanskrit language, we tend to think if it is permanent, it's forever. Yeah, it exists forever, but not necessarily. We have two types of permanent phenomena. Of course, here it's one division given by Yonzin Purbucho, and the other one is Rangawe Tarpa and Du Tembe Tarpa. Yeah, the permanent, which is temporary, and permanent in time. Yeah, permanent in time, endures forever, exists forever. But temporary permanent, it means that as long as it exists, it doesn't change. As long as it exists, it can come to exist and cease to exist, but within that time, it doesn't change. It is static.
So absence of feelings is also temporary permanent, because anger rises, shuts down. All our emotions
Yes,
are just rising, and but the absence of feelings is permanent or temporary permanent.
I would say it is a non-existent, because feeling is omnipresent mental factor. It has to be there anytime. We could say absence of pleasant feeling, or absence of unpleasant feeling, or absence of neutral feeling. Yeah, that exists. But absence of feeling, it doesn't exist, because feeling is always there in a continuum of mind. Yeah.
Oh, even neutral is a feeling.
Yeah.
Equanimity is a
Yes,
feeling that has to exist. Oh,
exactly.
but that's
Yes,
not non-existent. So feeling cannot absence. So you can never have an absence of, even in
feeling.
deep sleep.
Even in deep sleep, it's very neutral.
Deep sleep, mind exists, and if mind
Yeah.
exists, then you have to be okay.
Yes, because feeling is the mental factor which is defined by Arya Sangha in the Abhidharma Samuccaya, that which allows mind to experiment, to have experience, yes, of the good results of karma, bad results of karma, and so on. Yeah. So yeah, without the mental factor of feeling, mind could not have any experience at all.
But samadhi, what about for Buddha, Aryas that who are experiencing no mental factor? There is no
Okay.
feeling,
No,
absence of feeling.
it follows that the Buddha experiences a non-existent. It follows that the non-existent is observed by valid cognition. So we could have many debates like this, yeah. So yeah, the, even the Arya in meditative equipoise has feeling, because otherwise his mind or her mind could not experiment anything, even selflessness. Yes, Maria.
Yeah, I think we need to distinguish three different parameters from my understanding. Is present or non-present, and then the labels thereof. For example, feeling is present always, right?
Not
Or
always.
no, I mean there is existent or
But it
it,
exists always, yeah.
yes, but it's not the label of the feeling is not necessarily always it's like the sad, and in emptiness, it's not that you don't have feelings; it's just you don't label. That's
Yes,
it.
yes, exactly. Yeah, there
So
is no, yeah, of course, for the Sotrantika, that's very specific, because for the Sotrantika, the yogic direct perception can experience something which is an ultimate truth and a conventional truth. For the Sotrantika, that's very strange. But for the Prasangika or the Madhyamaka, or even in the Chittamatra schools, they would say that for the yogic direct perception, uh, yeah, they could define an ultimate truth, that phenomenon which is explicitly realized by a direct valid cognition without any dualistic appearances. Yeah, that's a definition given in the Chittamatra in some texts. I guess maybe in the Lama Tsumpa's text. But also His Holiness says that we can apply that to the Madhyamaka as well. Yeah, for any Mahayana school, when the Arya is observing selflessness or emptiness, there is no dualistic appearance. Yeah, so there is no conventional truth appearing. Yeah. So
coming back to Pallavi's though, and I hope Pallavi, I'm saying your name correctly, please forgive me. About the presence or non-presence of
yes,
the lightning. We talked about the non-presence, but exactly the same exists for the presence, right? Because it has the same, it's like waves, exists and comes and goes in a
yes,
kind of whatever way. Is
yes.
this equivalent, or is there a difference between present and non-presence?
So sorry, what is equivalent?
Is there a difference?
Yes, between what and what?
So like presence or non-presence or
Ah,
existing.
okay. Yeah, between presence and absence. Yeah, they are
Exactly, presence
they
and
are,
absence.
they are contradictory.
Contradictory, but they are both temporally permanent.
Ah, yes, it depends. If we say presence and absence, generally speaking, they are permanent in time, because there will always be something which is present, and there will be always something which is absent, like the self. And so that's why we can say that some absences are temporary permanent, and some are permanent in time. So that's why the whole set is permanent in time. Yeah. Like existent, that's the same here. Some phenomena arise and cease, like a flower, a day, an hour, a person, and so on. Yeah. But existent itself doesn't arise and doesn't cease. Yeah, it is permanent. Yeah, that's
and lightning arose and ceased. That's why it is impermanent. But the
Yes.
absence of it is continuing.
Yes, and
That's why it is temporary permanent. Is that
exactly.
okay?
And we cannot say that when the lightning ceases, then the absence of lightning arises. We cannot say that, because to arise means to be produced. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Now we're talking about dependent arising and interdependent arising. Wait. Then you have to define what arises it. So that
Yes.
sorry,
So,
apologies. I know I'm
yes,
complicating things continuously,
we,
but
we can understand the pratitya samutpada, yeah, the dependent arising, in three different ways according to Acharya Chandrakirti. Yeah, one is the literal way to express that dependent origination. It arises from causes and conditions, like the flower and so on. Yeah, but there are two other meanings which apply to any phenomena, impermanent and permanent. Yeah. Like the second one is prapya samutpada. It's the meeting, the gathering of conditions or parts. Yeah, like space is the gathering of all the directions, but still it is permanent. So it is not dependently originated, but it is dependently composed.
existent.
Oh yes, dependent existence, exactly. And the third meaning is the conceptual designation. Yeah, the dependent designation. Yeah, like short and long. Yeah, and like low and high, like cold and fresh, no, cold and hot, and so on. Yeah. Yeah, one is designated in dependence on the other, and so on. So there are many different levels. Yeah. So that's why in the Madhyamaka, if we understand only dependent origination like production, then it would absurdly follow that permanent phenomena have a self, exist by nature, and so on, truly exist, which is not the case. Yeah, they depend on anything else. Even if a phenomenon like permanent phenomena don't depend on causes and conditions, they necessarily depend on something else.
That I fully understand. That's the
Very
difference
good.
between the ego and the I, and the
Yes.
dependent arising and the selfless and selflessness. Yes.
And you can see, for instance, in one text from Guy Newland, appearance and reality on the two truths according to the four schools. He says that that's very useful, this kind of Sautrantika following reasoning, because we understand that phenomena can exist and still they are merely imputed by thought consciousness, like permanent phenomena. If we understand that, it's very easy to understand the Prasangika. That's so useful.
That I got.
Very good.
They exist due to their common base.
Yes.
Or common not common.
Not what? Not common base?
Common base or common not form, reason to exist for.
Yeah, your mic.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm
like
trying.
The lightning. Your mic is like the lightning in the sky.
Sorry, I'm always trying to take as less time as possible because I talk too much. I apologize.
No problem. Okay, so
Mr. Villa,
yes,
when
please.
when you told that it is easy to understand prasangika through those understanding, so does it answer that how functionality is possible even though inherent existence is not there?
Yes, maybe indirectly, because here it's just like the way they explain conventional truth or permanent phenomena or generally characterized phenomena and so on. They exist, but they are some kind of, they don't exist as much as ultimate truth, like the impermanent phenomena, yeah, in the Sotrantika following reasoning. So they exist, but they are kind of under existent. They don't exist fully, but still for the Sotrantika they exist inherently. That there is no choice. Yeah, there is no other choice. Only the Prasangika would discard inherent existence. So the Sotrantika would say yes, permanent phenomena they exist depending on a mere imputation. Still, they exist inherently, and the Prasangika would say if a phenomenon is merely imputed by a term of thought consciousness, it's necessarily not inherently existent. So it's a way to understand that. Then after, when we understand that, maybe, yes, for the Prasangika, discarding inherent existence is allowing production, causes and effect and so on. But for the Sotrantika, if an effect exists, then it is an ultimate truth. It's ultimately able to perform a function. For the Prasangika, if it depends on causes, it's necessarily empty of independent existence. So their reasonings are very different. Yeah. Yes,
Who
please.
goes first? I don't need to be first. Go ahead, Sadan.
No, I am done.
Okay.
No, but for me, function is an effect of the cause and conditions. So very often the dependent arising based of the provides the functionality needed for that particular moment. So,
Yeah.
but that doesn't, for that particular phenomenon, that doesn't imply that this particular phenomenon exists in its own side the way that we perceive it and label it and name it.
Yeah, for the Prasangika that works. For the Sotrantika, if something doesn't exist from its own side, it means it doesn't exist. So for the non-Prasangika, if something doesn't exist inherently, then it means it doesn't exist. They say the Prasangika are nihilistic.
Okay,
But
but the function is the effect of the cause and condition of the dependent arising. So there's a reason, a purpose, a function that this particular phenomenon contributes to the whole space and situation and moment that
yes.
makes it part of the moment of the
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, for the Sotrantika following reasoning, ultimate truth, like impermanent phenomena, are the real fabric of reality. They are the real, bricks, building bricks of the reality. Yeah. So that's why they say permanent phenomena, yes, they exist, but they are conventionally existent. They are not really existent, but still they exist inherently, yeah, for the Sotrantika. Okay, very good. So we were in a debate comparing existent and impermanent, or existent and permanent. Yeah, existent and permanent, in order to show this configuration, three possibilities. Yeah. So we had uncompounded space, for instance. It is permanent. Yeah. It exists, but it is not changing. Okay, very good. And okay, it is a common base between the two. So that's the first possibility. So now, if we say three possibilities, there is a kind of perversion. As you see here, permanent is included in existent. Yeah. So it means that if you pinpoint permanent, you have to pinpoint an existent necessarily. Yeah. So the way we formulate that, it means the perversion is, if it is permanent, it's necessarily existent. But if it is existent, it's not necessarily permanent. For instance, impermanent, form, mind, person, time, and so on. Yeah. Yeah. So that's the second possibility. Yeah. Something which exists but is not permanent. Yeah, that's the second possibility. And the third possibility, something which is none of them, horn or the rabbit. Yeah, we have to choose something which doesn't exist necessarily. Yeah, because it is not A and not B. It is not existent and not permanent. So it's necessarily a blue unicorn, pink elephant. And I guess in the Tibetan tradition, there is also the turtle feather or the turtle mustache. That's very nice. Okay. Okay. And also the sky flower and so on. Okay, so nice. So we have three possibilities, A and B, B not A, and not A not B. So three possibilities. That's why we say 3P in the shortcut. And now we have four possibilities. Wow. What could it be? For instance, we could say like blue-eyed person and French person. That's easy. Blue-eyed person and French person. It follows you can posit someone with which is A and B. I don't know if we know some. Maybe the president. Yeah, the French president. He has blue eyes. So you can see the French president. Yeah, that's a French person, and he has blue eyes. Yeah, it's a blue-eyed person. Okay, so you can find. I'm sure that you don't believe that all French people have blue eyes. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So, and I'm sure that you don't believe that if it is a blue-eyed person, it's necessarily a French person. So if it is in this case, then we can find A not B, B not A. Yeah, blue-eyed person like in Italy, and a French person which dark-eyed, like black-eyed, and we have a person which is none of them. Yeah, we have, for instance, yes, American person with dark eyes. Yes, so we can find, yeah, or A and B. First option, first possibility. A not B, second one. B not A, third one, and not A not B. So of course it can be blue unicorn, horn of the rabbit, but it's always better to choose among phenomena. Yeah. So we have those options. Wow, fantastic. Wow. But we have sometimes, yes, please.
Sorry. But there are people that have both blue and green eyes, for example.
Okay. Yeah, so we could put that person in not A, not B.
But he is blue-eyed person, has a blue eye, but it's not
Yeah.
only blue eye.
Okay, so yes, not only. So that's why we can put that person in not A, not B. Yeah,
Okay.
here blue-eyed person means both eyes. Even the third eye has to be blue.
But that's something needs to be clear. That's why. Because then you can say, okay.
Okay, very good. Yes. Fantastic. Yeah, we could play on words. We could say yes, but a person like yes, some persons they have like some dogs. Yeah. Do you agree that a dog is a person? Okay, yes. A dog is a non-human person. And some dogs, yeah, they are very famous in the north, in Canada and so on. They have one blue eye and one dark eye. Exactly, yeah. Okay, very good. So if it's clear for everyone, contradictory, equivalent, 3P and 4P, then we can play. It follows, you can posit the comparison between the two, permanent and impermanent. So easy. The contradictory equivalent 3P, 4P, maybe 5P. Permanent and impermanent.
Contradictory.
Contradictory, very good. They are contradictory because?
They have no common base.
Okay, it follows that if they have no common base, they are necessarily contradictory.
Their phenomena no common base.
Yes, very good. Otherwise, there are no common base between pink horned rabbit and blue horned rabbit. Yeah, still they are not contradictory. Okay, yes. So if they are different with no common base, they are necessarily contradictory. Very good. Yes, fantastic. So now if we compare, for instance, existent, this one is more tricky. Yeah, if you're ready, prepare, recite Omara Patanadi. And then yeah, I'm sure you know the difference between the two, existent and non-impermanent. Oh, so the defender's job is to check, do we have a common base? Can I find something which is existent and not impermanent? And can I find A not B, B not A, and so on? You have 2 hours.
Please define non-impermanent.
Non-impermanent, I would say not momentary.
Can I try
Yes, please.
time?
Yes, time.
A smallest moment of time
Okay.
is existent and not momentary. The
Uh-huh.
smallest instant of time.
Okay. Wow. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. So it follows that the subject, the smallest instant of time, doesn't change.
Not in that moment.
Okay. So yes, we could agree if we speak about the smallest instant of past or the Sotrantika or the smallest instant of future, because for the Sotrantika following reasoning, they are both permanent, but the present time has to be impermanent. Yes. So even if it is the smallest instant of time in the present time, it has to arise and cease at the same time. It has to arise and change at the same time.
Then there is no change, there is no time.
Okay.
If it
So
arises and then nothing has happened, then no time. That is absence of time.
okay, absence of time, I would agree. Absence of time, yeah, that's a good illustration. Yeah, it exists. It exists because
It exists because it is observed by a valid cognition.
yes, it follows that if it is observed by valid cognition, it necessarily exists.
Accept.
Yes, very good. And the mere absence of time, yeah, for instance, the mere absence of time in space and so on and so on. Okay, so the mere absence of time, it follows it is not impermanent.
Accept.
It is not impermanent because
Because it is not changing from moment to moment.
exactly, very good. That's a good answer. We could say also because it is permanent, a mere absence. Yeah, it has
Okay.
no substance that changes. Yeah, it is merely imputed by a term of thought consciousness. Yeah, it exists, but still merely imputed. Yeah, we say, oh, okay, there is no time in space. There is no time in yes, there is no time in nirvana and so on. Okay.
And there's no time in my dream because it's an absence of time because or there's a very different definition of time in dream.
Maybe time is not ascertained in your dream. It doesn't mean that it doesn't exist.
There is absence of time in my dream.
You have timeless dreams. It could be a beautiful song of Pink Floyd. Timeless dreams. Very poetic. Okay, so mere absence, yeah? A mere absence is permanent. Everybody agrees? Okay, very good.
But we're not saying permanent, we're saying not impermanent. So it should
Exactly.
not be permanent also, right?
So if we say not impermanent, it could be permanent, but not necessarily. That's the trick.
I see.
Yeah. Yeah, Maria.
What about temporally impermanent, what we discussed before?
Yes, temporary permanent, we could say, like, for instance, the absence of lightning in the sky.
Exactly, yeah.
And yes, it is existent and it is not impermanent. Yeah, very good. Very good. Yes, fantastic. So we have A and B, so they are not contradictory. Yeah. Okay, so we discard one answer. Now we have to manage three answers. They could be equivalent, they could be 3P, or they could be 4P.
3P.
3P, okay. Positive perversion.
Existence is necessarily existence can be non-impermanent, but non-impermanent is necessarily existence is necessarily non-impermanent.
Okay. If it exists, it's not necessary.
Permanent may not be may not be existence.
Okay. Okay.
I
Okay.
say 4P without the neither.
Ah, j'avais dit à un certain moment-là, you both have the answer, yeah? Wow. Because if it is A, it's not necessarily B. And if it is B, it's not necessarily A. But yes, there is nothing which is neither. Wow, fantastic. Incredible. Okay, so let's check point by point. Okay, so it follows that you can posit something which exists and it is not impermanent.
Selflessness of a pen.
It follows that the subject, the selflessness of a pen, is not impermanent.
Accept.
So it follows that it is impermanent.
Not. Oh, it is permanent.
Yes.
Not non-impermanent. It is permanent. Yes.
Yes, not impermanent. If you discard the not, because not, they become known. Yeah. If you say
Yes.
not, it becomes, yes, you discard them. So not
Right.
impermanent, you put
Oh,
not aside, then you have.
distant and impermanent. Okay.
Yes, very good.
Oh. Okay. We have to read it.
So the pen, maybe, no?
Pen.
Yeah. Yeah, it follows that the subject, the pen exists.
Accept.
It exists because?
It can be established by valid cognition.
Yes, very good, because it can be established by valid cognition, because it is impermanent, because it is form, because you can find many answers. Very good. Yes, and it follows that the subject, the pen, is not impermanent.
Accept.
Yes, it is not impermanent
because it is impermanent.
Yes, very good. It follows that if it is impermanent, it's necessarily not impermanent.
Accept.
Very good. So we have A and B, we have A not B. And now we need B not A, something which is impermanent, which is not impermanent, and is not existent. Not
Yes.
impermanent and not existent.
Not an horn of a rabbit.
Yes, rabbit horn. Very good. It follows that the subject horn of the rabbit doesn't exist.
Accept.
Okay, it doesn't exist because?
Because it cannot be established by valid cognition.
Very good. It follows that if it cannot be established by valid cognition, it's necessarily non-existent.
Accept.
Very good. And the subject horn of the rabbit is not impermanent.
Accept.
Are you sure?
Accept.
The first accept is very strong, and the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah, accept. Yeah, Maria.
Can we say that because in order to be impermanent, it needs to be a phenomenon, non-existent?
Yes,
It's non-existent.
exactly. Yeah, that's exactly the case. Yeah, because impermanent belongs to the category existent. Yeah, it cannot change moment by moment without existing. If it changes moment by moment, it has to exist. Exactly, yes. But yes, if it is not impermanent, it doesn't necessarily exist. It can exist if it is permanent, but not necessarily. Yeah. And if we ask for something which is not impermanent and not existent, then we have no choice. Only horned rabbit or blue unicorn and so on. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Very good. And now something which is neither. Try to find something Chaviji didn't find. Maybe. What can be not existent and not impermanent?
I don't know if this will work, but emptiness of emptiness.
Emptiness of emptiness. Okay, so it follows that the subject emptiness of emptiness is not impermanent.
It cannot change. Yeah, it's a negation.
Oh, so it is not impermanent. It is not
It is
impermanent.
not, yeah, it is permanent.
Okay, so it follows that if it is permanent, it's necessarily not impermanent.
Except.
Okay, it follows that if it is not impermanent, it is not impermanent. Yeah, there is one chapter in the Dura, in the collected topics. They call it the shame of the geishes. I don't know. Maybe it was Daniel Perdue or maybe Geshe Dreyfus. They say that, yeah, yimba le loba, yimba le loba ma yimba, yimba le loba ma yimba, etc. And so on. They say the opposite of not being that and the opposite of being that. And they say even the top scholars, the geshes, they can make mistakes because they forget to count how many negations we have. So it's just
But
because
I'm
of
thinking
that.
I don't need to count because I'm standing on the other side of, I'm saying permanent. You can say whatever you want, it'll still land on permanence.
Okay, so it follows that the subject selflessness, emptiness of emptiness, we could say selflessness of selflessness, is not impermanent.
It's not.
Yeah, we have double negation, means
Mhm.
have to
It
discard
is
the non.
impermanent.
Yes, it follows that selflessness is impermanent.
Depends on the school.
Oh, okay.
Prantika.
For all the schools, selflessness is permanent. All the schools without any exception.
So,
For the Vaibhashika, it's not sure the reason, because the Vaibhashika, according to Kuncho Jime Wambo Rinpoche's text, he says that the Vaibhashika, they don't accept mere negations.
Well, but then
Yeah.
depends. Then my selflessness is not impermanent. When I rise, it rises. When I die, it is destroyed.
Okay. So same as the mere absence of lightning in the sky.
Absence of lightning in the sky, absence of absence. So it's not my selflessness, it's the absence of my selflessness that is being the mere negation. It's not my selflessness.
I would say that the absence of your selflessness is non-existent.
No, I can't. I don't think so. Absence of my selflessness
It
is
follows that you have a
non-existent.
self. It follows that you have a self-sufficient substantial self, yeah? Not me conventional self. Yeah?
No.
No, you don't have any self-sufficient substantial self. So you are necessarily selfless. So your selflessness is not absent. Yeah?
But not impermanent. It's not
Yeah.
non-impermanent.
Yes, which means
It is permanent.
Okay.
Wait,
Okay.
not non-impermanent. Oh, it's impermanent.
Yes, very
Not
good.
non-impermanent. It is
And
impermanent.
we are looking for that, not impermanent and non-existent.
So when I said emptiness of self, it is saying emptiness of emptiness, because then you go into infinite regression. We cannot do that. right? We have to stop emptiness of emptiness
Yes.
so emptiness of selflessness of Pallavi, let's say as specific as that,
Yes.
is not existent, because as soon as you go to emptiness of Pallavi, of selflessness, you have to stop there. You can't continue to emptiness of emptiness.
Yes, you could, but there is no point in that. If you check the emptiness of the emptiness of the emptiness, as long as you checked already the first emptiness of emptiness, then that's okay. You don't need to check the emptiness of the emptiness of the emptiness.
That is why it is not existent. That is why it meets neither existent nor non-impermanent.
In the Vigraha Vyavartani, Nagarjuna says, if you discard emptiness, then you assert a self, an inherent existence. So if you say that emptiness is absent, then you assert a self. If you say there is no selflessness, then it means there is a self.
But then whose self? At that point, we are not that point we are not talking about the self of Pallavi. Then I'm not talking about selflessness of Pallavi. Then that means then you're asserting some self.
Yes,
Suchness.
if we say absence of selflessness, it means self. It's the same as saying no self. No self means a self.
Okay. Absence of
next to-
selflessness means you're affirming a self. Okay.
Yes, exactly. Very good. Fantastic. So what could we find which is not impermanent and not existent?
Christophe,
Yes.
so I have a question here. So, for Sautrantika, impermanent phenomena is the ultimate truth.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, for
wouldn't that make selflessness for them impermanent?
yeah, for them, selflessness is a conventional truth. Because according to the Vaibhashika and Sautrantika, the two truths are not a way to get liberated when we know them. It's just a way to assert how the universe exists, how the building blocks of the universe are configured in one sense. For the Mahayanists, for the Chittamatra and Madhyamaka, ultimate truth is necessarily a liberating truth, something which allows us to be liberated. But for the Sautrantika and Vaibhashika, it's just a way to assert how things exist. So that's why for the Sautrantika following reasoning, selflessness, they don't really speak about emptiness, but we could concede that. We could say, okay, they speak about emptiness of self-sufficient substantial self. And for them, it is a conventional truth because it is permanent.
It is a conventional truth because it is permanent.
Yeah, for the Sautrantika following reasoning, that's the only school asserting that. Yeah, the Vaibhashika and the Sautrantika following scriptures, they would say that Vaibhashika would say selflessness, if they accept that it is permanent, is an ultimate truth, because they would accept three types of permanent phenomena: uncompounded space, analytical cessation, and non-analytical cessation. And those are ultimate truth because they are substantially existent. When you divide them, you still find something. And for the Sautrantika following scriptures, yes, they would say something similar. They are very close to the Vaibhashika. Only the Sautrantika following reasoning would say that an ultimate truth is necessarily impermanent. All the other schools would say, no, it is permanent. Yeah, that's very tricky.
So
Okay.
here
Yes.
in the neither, we cannot say, like, if a Sautrantika were arguing, then would he not say that the neither of the A and B would be the ultimate truth?
Yeah, they would say something which is because here, if we are checking something which is neither, it's some kind of inner contradiction. Because we are looking for something which is not impermanent, so something which is impermanent and not existent. So
Not
we are looking for something which is impermanent but doesn't exist.
right. Okay, it doesn't work. Okay.
Yeah. C'était Romola?
I think the answer is self.
The self.
Yes,
The self. It follows that the subject, the self, is not impermanent.
self,
It follows that the subject, the self, is impermanent.
except
Oh, the self is impermanent because?
because it is not permanent as in non-Buddhist non-Buddhist schools
It follows that
there.
if it is not permanent, it's necessarily impermanent.
Uh, no, why?
It follows that if it is not permanent, it's not necessarily impermanent.
Except
Yes, very good. For instance,
non-existent.
yes, fantastic. Wow, beautiful. Really, that's fantastic. Yes, so the self is not impermanent and it is not permanent. It is, if we speak not about the self, which is the equivalent with the person, yeah, because when we say self, dak in Tibetan, and person, kansak, and me, nga, they are equivalent. And kiebu also, being, a being, kiebu, they are equivalent. So in general, when we speak about the self, it exists, the conventional self, the imputed self, independence on the aggregates and so on. So this, we don't discard that. When we say selflessness, we discard some specific type of self, a self-sufficient substantial self, which never existed. Yeah. And this non-existent cannot be impermanent and cannot be permanent because it doesn't exist. Yeah. But here, if we are looking for something which is neither, which is not existent and not impermanent, so it means it's not existent, but it is impermanent. So that's kind of a self-contradiction, no? Yes, Maria.
I'm sorry. In order to be impermanent, you need to be a phenomenon by definition. You need to be by definition. So that means they cannot be non-existent.
Exactly. That's exactly the point of this debate, is to show that you cannot find any impermanent phenomenon which is not a phenomenon. Yeah, so that's why it's a 4P without anything being neither. It's a very specific configuration. That's why I wanted to speak about this debate, is that we have some exceptions sometimes. Yeah, there is nothing which is neither. Even non-existent doesn't work. Because non-existent here is, yes, not existent, but it is not impermanent. Yeah, it means it is not impermanent. Yeah. Okay, fantastic. Wow, that's very good. Really, really good. Okay, so checking if we have time for another debate or not. Yeah, it depends on you. Do you have time for a last one? Okay, so I hope it's not too much for our newcomers, because when I share the screen, I don't see all the cams. So we have Alex and Sonal G. I'm not sure that you could follow the debates we had.
I could follow a bit of it. Maybe I'll have to go through all the previous documents.
Ah, yes, okay. Okay, yes, not easy, yeah,
Yeah.
not easy at all. So yeah, the most important thing is that we know the phenomena that we discuss. So that's why it's nice to have some definitions in mind, even if we don't put them in a proper way with all the good terms and so on. As long as we know what we discuss about, that's the main thing. Yeah, when we speak about impermanent, it means it's changing moment by moment. Yeah, it doesn't mean that the continuum has to cease necessarily. For some phenomena, yes, like an hour, it ceases by itself. Yeah. Yeah, we don't need to do anything for that. Even
Yeah.
if sometimes an hour can seem so long if you wait, like in the weight room, for the doctor and so on, then You can find the time so long, even an hour can feel like a kalpa. And sometimes it's so short for me when we debate. An hour, it goes so quick. And maybe not for you, I'm not sure, but for me, I'm enjoying so much that it goes so quickly. Okay, so it means that changing moment by moment can endure for very long and can be very short. And the continuum can cease an hour, a day, a flower, and so on. They are impermanent and their continuum ceases by itself. And we have some impermanent phenomena. The continuum endures by itself, like the continuum of mind, the continuum of matter, and so on. Yeah. And some phenomena, the most important thing, some phenomena are impermanent and they would cease if we do something for that. For instance, I'm sure you have it.
Our miseries.
Yes, our miseries, samsara, yes. If we don't do anything, it endures by itself, it remains by itself. If we do something, then we can stop it. So that's why we try to check to use our critical mind and use our active mind and try to cultivate compassion and good motivation and so on. And even if we make mistakes, that's always a good lesson. Always. It's never wrong to make a mistake. Yeah. It's always useful. Okay, very good. So impermanent means that it's changing moment by moment. Yeah, whatever the time it endures. Yeah. Okay, very good. So impermanent and permanent, as long as it exists, it doesn't change moment by moment. That's what we mean here. Yeah. It doesn't mean necessarily that it is eternal. It can be eternal, but not necessarily. Okay, very good. And yes, we are comparing with the comparisons, yeah, contradictory, equivalent, 3P, 4P. So that's the way to clarify those notions, yeah. Okay, so if we compare, for instance, different from impermanent and permanent. Wow. I'm sure we already did that. Different from impermanent and permanent. Are they contradictory, 3P, 4P, equivalent? Because different, it means that it has to be at least conceptually distinct. It doesn't necessarily mean contradictory with permanent. Yeah, different from permanent. Okay, 3P apology.
Temporarily permanent.
Temporary permanent. Okay, so temporary permanent is a common base, yeah. Okay, is a common base, yeah. Paraviji, you agree? If you found 3P, you have a common base, yeah.
I'm working on, I was working on the pervasion. Sorry.
Okay, no problem.
What
No
did
problem.
Maria say? Sorry.
Temporary permanent is the common base between the two. Permanent and different from impermanent. And next time we will try to check also possible to be and impossible to be.
I'm puzzled that I'm looking forward to it.
Yes. Yeah,
Wait,
it's a bit tricky.
temporary permanent is permanent and different from impermanent.
Yes, you accept that?
Temporary permanent is an absence. Negation is a mere negation.
Ah,
So
it's
it
not
is.
necessarily a mere negation. Yeah, it's not necessarily a mere. We could debate that mere negation and temporary permanent. Then we could debate that. But here, for instance, the meaning generality. When you think about pot, your meaning generality is temporary permanent, but your meaning generality is not a mere negation, is an affirming
Okay.
negation. Yeah.
So I don't know the answer to. I can't think
Okay.
whether it is
Okay.
permanent or not.
Okay. So let's debate with Maria. Okay. Then if someone has another answer to give, please dare to give an answer. Yeah? Okay. So it follows that the subject temporary permanent is permanent.
Temporarily. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yes, it follows that if it is temporary permanent, it's necessarily permanent.
Temporarily, yes. Accept.
Accept. Okay. Very good. If it is temporary permanent, it's necessarily permanent because?
For the time being, doesn't change.
Yes. Oh, it follows that if for the time being it doesn't change, it's necessarily permanent.
For the time being.
Yeah, if it doesn't change, it's necessarily permanent.
Yeah, the permanent by definition is something that's more momentarily unchanging,
Yes.
right?
Yes, because a horn or rabbit doesn't exist, yeah, still.
It's a phenomenon. No, a phenomenon that, sorry. I always assume the phenomenon there. That's true. It's a phenomenon that is permanent, that temporarily doesn't change form. So it is
Exactly.
permanent, temporary. So there is a common base of not
Yeah.
changing in a certain period.
Exactly. So temporary permanent is permanent because it's a phenomenon which doesn't change. It follows that if it is a phenomenon that doesn't change, that it's not momentary, it's necessarily permanent. Yes, we agree. Yeah? So we prove our point. Okay, so now we have to prove that temporary permanent is different from impermanent.
Correct, because it's,
Okay.
has at end of there is how's it called? This end of the time. So that means it's not impermanent, and it also doesn't change. It does not change. Impermanent means it changes all the time, right?
Yes,
So,
exactly.
but both definitions are there.
Okay, so if we try to make it more concise, for instance, it follows that the subject temporary permanent is not is different from impermanent because
It does not changing in time, so momentarily.
okay, very good. Yes, because it is not momentary. Yes, if you discard the definition, you discard the definitum. Yeah, if it is not momentary, it's necessarily not impermanent. Very good, very good, fantastic. So yes, temporary permanent is a common base between the two, permanent and different from impermanent. Okay, so now we have a common base, but do we find the answer? Yeah, so we discard contradiction. Okay, the contradiction is discarded because they have common base. Yeah. So 3p equivalent 4p
3p.
3p it follows you can posit the perversion.
Yes.
Yes.
Whatever is permanent must necessarily be different from impermanent, but whatever is different from impermanent is not necessarily permanent, right?
Wow, fantastic. Everybody agrees with Chaviji? Yes, fantastic. If it is permanent, it's necessarily different from impermanent. But if it is different from impermanent, it's not necessarily permanent. Wow, very good. So posit an illustration of something which is different from impermanent, but is not permanent.
Pot.
Pot. Yes, it follows that the subject pot is not permanent.
Accept.
It is not permanent because?
Because it is a phenomena that changes moment by moment.
Yes, it follows that if it is changing moment by moment, or a phenomenon which changes moment by moment, it's necessarily not permanent.
Accept.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Yes, exactly. Very good. And that's how, when Venagandambula says, when first you have a knowledge that you borrow from others, now this is your knowledge because you're sure, you know what you speak about. That's fantastic. Okay. Okay, so it follows that the subject pot is different from impermanent.
Accept.
It is different from impermanent because?
Because only impermanent is one with impermanent.
Okay. Okay, so it follows the subject. Horn of the rabbit is different from impermanent because only impermanent is one with impermanent.
Well, it has to be different, so it has to be phenomenon.
Yes, very good. Very good. It follows that the subject what was it? Thought. Thought is different from impermanent because it's a phenomenon which is not one with impermanent.
Because
Wow.
phenomena which is not one with impermanent, right?
Yes. Yes, of course. Impermanent is the only phenomenon which is one with impermanent, yeah. But some tricky challengers could say yes, but yes, the reason is established, but yes, we could say that we can apply it to any syllogism, yeah. And in that case, there is no necessary pervasion. But yes, very good. Wow, fantastic. Pot is different from impermanent, and it is not it is not permanent. Yeah, everybody agrees? Wow, very good. So we had something which is both temporary permanent. Now we have something which is B not A, which is different from impermanent but not permanent. Yeah, can you find, does anyone find any common base or any illustration of something which is permanent but not different from impermanent? No, huh? The perversion is perfect, yeah? Can we find something which is permanent, a phenomenon which is permanent, but would not be different from impermanent? No, it's impossible. Very good. That Chaviji's perversion is perfect. If it is permanent, it's necessarily different from impermanent. So now, so we had A not B, A and B, B not A. So now we need something which is none of them, which is not permanent and not different from impermanent.
Only a
Impermanent.
non-phenomenon, something which is non-existent.
Okay, horned rabbit, non-existent. That's perfect. That's a very good answer. But if the challenger is uh, is more tough, it will ask you among phenomena what is neither permanent nor different from impermanent.
Impermanent.
Impermanent. Very good. Very good. Only impermanent, yeah, exists, and it is not different from impermanent. So if it exists and is not different from impermanent, it's necessarily one with impermanent. Thank you very much, Varshaji. We almost finished, yeah? Thank you so much. Very good. So 3P. Wow, incredible. So then I will send you some more exercises for next time, and I will try to delve into the those debates. You know, established base. I think it's the most important thing to put the the location of the thought following reasoning. Then after we'll try to to debate about the causes and effects. So important. Thank you so much. It was so great for the long life and good health of His Holiness the Dalai Lama and all the good teachers that we have in our life, and for the sake of all the beings. Thank you so much. It was so great. Really, I really appreciate. Thank you so much.
Thank you all so much. Thank you, Christophe.
Thank you, Christophe. Thank you so much.
See you soon. See you soon. Bye bye. Thank you.